Hello everyone, welcome to the Stalwart Initiative, and we're back for another look at Tasha's Cauldron of everything. This time we're going to be taking a look at all the new monk stuff, including the optional class features and the 2 new subclasses in Tasha's Cauldron. Let's get started. First up, for the optional class features, at 2nd level you get dedicated weapon. You train yourself to use a variety of weapons as monk weapons, not just simple melee weapons and short swords. Whenever you finish a short or long rest, you can touch one weapon, focus your ki on it, and then count that weapon as a monk weapon until you use this feature again. The chosen weapon must meet these criteria. The weapon must be simple or martial, you must be proficient with it, and it must lack the heavy and special properties. This is a nice boost. I think it'll help with those who want to multi-class with the monk. A lot of times you can't use a lot of the monk features unless you had, up until now, had monk weapons. And that's pretty limited. That's simple, simple weapons, short swords, stuff like that. And depending on, your subclass, you might vary a little bit. But yeah, this is allowing you, as long as you have proficiency with it, which also lends to multi-classing. If you have, whether you're like an elf and you already have proficiency in long swords, or you have another class that has proficiency in all martial weapons, say like a fighter, yeah, this will give you a wider range of things you can do, or weapons you can use as monk weapons. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, and I'm glad they limit it to not heavy and special, because then every monk's going to be a 10-foot polearm swinging monk, or 10-foot reach polearm swinging monk. So yeah, that's cool. Nice new feature. At 3rd level, you get ki fueled attack. If you spend 1 ki point or more as part of your action on your turn, you can make 1 attack with an unarmed strike or a monk weapon as a bonus action before the end of the turn. This is really powerful. This is basically any of the monk features that would normally make you use your action, that cost ki points and would make you use your action. Now you are allowed to use you're allowed to use their flurry of blows. But not only can you do an unarmed strike with this, because your flurry of blows usually requires you to have taken the attack action. Well, some monk features actually make you use your action, not just specifically the attack action. So this is saying that you can make another unarmed strike or monk weapon attack, which is actually a boost. Now it's allowing you to use monk weapons, not just unarmed strikes for that, as a bonus action. So, yeah. Very powerful addition, and it will give a lot more power to the classes, or to the subclasses that give you these abilities, these ki fueled abilities that require your action. So now you, in addition to that ability, you can also, as your bonus action, take an unarmed strike or a monk weapon attack. So very cool, very cool. Next up, at 4th level, we have Quicken Healing. As an action, you can spend 2 ki points and roll a martial arts die. You regain a number of hit points equal to the number rolled plus your proficiency bonus. This is cool. This is some cool baked-in self-healing for the monk. It's not easily abusable because it does require 2 ki points to use, and it can only be on yourself. And it starts out pretty low. Your monk die at 4th level, you're just finishing up your D4. It goes up to a D6 at 5th level. So you roll a d4 and you add your proficiency bonus, which also doesn't go up to 3, from 2 to 3 until 5th level. So yeah, it's 2 plus up to, it's either 3 to 6 hit points. Not a whole lot, but yeah, nice way to use up some of those ki points in a pinch, and it does scale well because of your monk die scaling, and also your proficiency bonus scaling. So nice feature. Here, 5th level with a monk now is a very pivotal moment. It was already powerful to begin with for a monk, but here we go. Focused aim. When you miss with an attack roll, you can spend 1 to 3 ki points to increase your attack roll by 2 for each of these ki points you spend, potentially turning the miss into a hit. Wow. So 5th level, you're getting your 2nd attack as part of your attack action. You're getting your martial arts die is going up. You are getting your proficiency bonus is going up. Lots of good things are happening, as well as you're gaining the stunning strike feature from the normal monk class feature, which allows you to spend a ki point when you when you hit with an attack and and stun the enemy. Well, this allows you to burn more ki to have a better chance of actually hitting with that attack. And now you have two regular attack chances to do that. On top of it, wow, quick ways to burn ki, but very effective, especially if you have to get that stunning strike off. It's very imperative that you hit and then stun the enemy. Granted, it's not, they have to pass the saving throw anyway, but yeah, very useful at all levels of the game, and this becomes more even more feasible as you progress, and because your maximum ki points are equal to your levels, so the higher level you get with the class, the more ki points you have to do things like this. Fantastic way to use the ki points. And yeah, so that's it for the optional class features. That's everything we just gained for for free for your monk. And let's take a look at the subclasses. First up, we have the Way of Mercy monk. Monks of the Way of Mercy learn to manipulate the life force of others to bring aid to those in need. They are wandering physicians to the poor and hurt. However, to those beyond their help, they bring a swift end as an act of mercy. Those who follow the Way of the Mercy might be members of a religious order, administering to the needy and making grim choices rooted in reality rather than idealism. Some might be gentle-voiced healers, beloved by their communities, while others might be masked bringers of macabre mercies. The walkers of this way usually don robes with deep cowls, and they often conceal their faces with masks, presenting themselves as the faceless bringers of life and death. And that is very awesome art. Very awesome art. Let's see here. So at 3rd level, and these subclasses get the monk subclasses all get features at 3rd, 6th, 11th, and 17th. So the monk is already a class-heavy features. They have so many features with their class that they only get 4 or 5 different things for their subclass. Depending, some of them might have 2 features per level, but it's usually like 1 feature per level, and then maybe one might have 2, depending on power levels. So the first feature is Implements of Mercy. You gain proficiency in the Insight and Medicine skills, and you gain proficiency with the Herbalism kit. You also gain a special mask, which you often wear when using the features of this subclass. You determine its appearance or generate it randomly by rolling it on the Merciful Mask table. So there's a nice little list there, from Raven to Butterfly to all kinds of good stuff. Yeah, mask would be a important and cool part of the flavor for the subclass. Also at 3rd level, you get Hand of Healing. Your mystical touch can mend wounds. As an action, you can spend 1 ki point to touch a creature and restore a number of hit points equal to a roll on your martial arts die plus your wisdom modifier. When you use your flurry of blows, you can replace one of the unarmed strikes with a use of this feature without spending a ki point for the healing. This is a really good thing with the Mercy monk. It's allowing you to incorporate these healing techniques into your flurry of blows and not use up more ki points. Very cool. But the healing is the martial arts die at 3rd level is only a d4 plus your wisdom modifier. Again, like the optional class feature we discussed earlier, it's not going to be a whole heap of healing at first, but it will scale as will scale a bit as you go farther into your leveling. And the other side of that coin is the Hand of Harm. You use your ki to inflict wounds. When you hit a creature with an unarmed strike, you can spend 1 ki point to deal extra necrotic damage equal to 1 roll of your martial arts die plus your wisdom modifier. You can use this feature only once per turn. This is some extra damage. It is necrotic, and so a certain amount of creatures will be resistant to that, but it will scale as well. It's not a huge amount of damage, but you can use it every turn. So a lot of features in certain classes you can only use it on your turn, but this allows you to use this once per turn. So you can use this on opportunity attacks as well, which is nice. Next up, we have Physician's Touch at 6th level. You can administer even greater curses with a touch, and if you feel it's necessary, you can use your knowledge to cause harm. Wow, I said greater curses. You can administer even greater cures. I thought this was all harm right here. Cures with a touch. And if necessary, use your knowledge to cause harm. Yeah, negative. When you use your Hand of Healing on a creature, you can also end one disease or one of the following conditions affecting the creature: blinded, deafened, paralyzed, poisoned, or stunned. When you use your Hand of Harm on a creature, you can subject that creature to the poison condition until the end of your next turn. This is pretty powerful, especially the curing part. Being able to cure creatures immediately cure them of paralyzed and stunned is, wow, that's very powerful, especially if whatever creature that gave them those status ailments is relying on them being paralyzed and stunned to be out of the fight. You just go over and you only have to use one iteration, so one of your Hand of Healing to do so. Very cool, very cool. And the harmed is nice too. Poisoned effect is great, and the great part about that is, even if they have advantage, like some races and creatures will have advantage on saving throws against being poisoned, this does not even give them a saving throw to be poisoned. They are just straight up poisoned, and it's to the end of your next turn, much like Stunning Strike. Pretty powerful. I like it. I dig it. Makes the whole the Hand of Healing and Harm even more powerful. And sure enough, let's look at the next ability at 11th level, Flurry of Healing and Harm. Shocker. You can now mete out a Flurry of Comfort and Harm. When you use Flurry of Blows, you can now replace each of the unarmed strikes with a use of your Hand of Healing, without spending key points for the healing. In addition, when you make an unarmed strike with Flurry of Blows, you can use Hands of Harm with that strike without spending a key point for Hand of Harm. You can still use Hand of Harm only once per turn. This is making them free for you. So when you're using Flurry of Blows, the features are free for you. That's great. So you can dish out healing and dish out the extra damage free of charge now at 11th level. Very cool. Now your capstone at 17th level is Hand of Ultimate Mercy. Your mastery of life energy opens the door to the ultimate mercy. As an action, you can touch the corpse of a creature that died within the past 24 hours and expend 5 key points. The creature then returns to life, regaining a number of hit points equal to 4d10 plus your wisdom modifier. If the creature died while subject to any of the following conditions, it revives with them removed: blind, deafened, paralyzed, poisoned, and stunned. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. This is much different than the Unearthed Arcana version. I remember the capstone was like you can put someone in stasis and they can't be hurt, and they're in stasis for X amount of days. This is much different, though I like this one more. I really do, because you can bring back party members. You can bring back NPCs. Even if you don't have a healer that's able to do so in the party, you could just, a random person dies. You can really make it, as part of the story, really make it good. And it's decent amount of healing when they wake up too. Yeah, that's pretty cool, And they do limit it to once per long rest, so you can't just short rest and continually bring people back to life that have died within the last 24 hours. So you can only do one a day. Or depending on how you stagger it, you can do 2 a day, because at the end of the long rest, you can do it as well, all in the same day. But yeah, I like it. I like it. And let me know what you think. Yeah, good stuff. I like Way of the Mercy. I like it more thematically. I would say out of the two, that's the one I would probably play, just because of like the character of it would be pretty cool. But Way of the Astral Self is very powerful, and let's take a look at that. A monk who follows the Way of the Astral Self believes their body is an illusion. They see their ki as a representation of their true form, an astral self. This astral self has the capacity to be a force of order or disorder, with some monasteries training students to use their power to protect the weak, and other instructing aspirants in how to manifest their true selves in service to the mighty. At 3rd level, and no, that's not even. Is that even a feature? What does that say? Forms of your astral self. Let's just read it, because it doesn't even say at 3rd level. The astral self is a translucent embodiment of the monk's soul. As a result, an astral self can reflect aspects of a monk's background, ideals, flaws, and bonds, and an astral self doesn't necessarily look anything like the monk. For example, the astral self of a lanky human might be reminiscent of a minotaur, the strength of which the monk feels within. Similarly, an orc monk might manifest gossamer arms and a delicate visage, representing the gentle beauty of the orc's soul. Each astral self is unique, and some of the monks of this monastic tradition are known more for the appearance of their astral self than their physical appearance. When choosing this path, consider the quirks that define your monk. Are you obsessed with something? Are you driven by justice or selfish desire? Any of these motivations could manifest in the form of your astral self. Okay, so it's just more descriptive blurb. I like it though. I like it. Churns some ideas. So at third level, you get arms of the astral self. Your mastery of your key allows you to summon a portion of your astral self. As a bonus action, you can spend 1 key point to summon the arms of your astral self. When you do so, each creature of your choice that you can see within 10 feet of you must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or take force damage equal to 2 rolls of your martial arts die. Oh, this is different. Okay, this is also different than the Unearthed Arcana one. For 10 minutes, these spectral arms hover near your body or surround your arms, your choice. You determine the arm's appearance, and they vanish early if you're incapacitated or die. While the spectral arms are present, you gain the following benefits. You can use your wisdom modifier in place of your strength modifier when making strength checks and strength saving throws. You can use the spectral arms to make unarmed strikes. When you make an unarmed strike with the arms on your turn, your reach for it is 5 feet greater than normal. I wish that was always. That's only on your turn, so that sucks. You can't. You don't have reach the whole time you have it, just on your turn. The unarmed strikes you make with the arms can use your wisdom modifier in place of your strength or dexterity modifier for the attack and damage rolls, and their damage type is force. The fact that the damage is force is great, and I think that used to be different, radiant or something, radiant or necrotic, or maybe just radiant. Yeah, that's really good. Giving you the option to use your wisdom is nice in case you really spect harder into wisdom than dexterity. Though as monk, I usually lean on dexterity first. Okay, that's a great. That's it for your 3rd level feature, but it is powerful and useful. Let me get back to this whole part here. Where's the? Okay, that must be later on. All right, let's check out 6th level feature. Visage of the Astral Self. You can summon the visage of your Astral Self as a bonus action or as part of the bonus action you take to activate the arms of the Astral Self. You can spend 1 key point to summon this visage for 10 minutes. It vanishes early if you are incapacitated or die. The visage, or the spectral visage, covers your face like a helmet or mask. You determine its appearance. While the spectral visage is present, you gain the following benefits. Okay, so this will be like your head or your helmet of your astral self. You gain astral sight. You can see normally in darkness, both magical and non-magical, to a distance of 120 feet. Woo! Seeing in magical darkness to 120 feet is pretty sweet, and unlike certain spells that you have to overcome, like the light has to be stronger than the darkness, this is just straight up, that's a fact. Very cool. Wisdom of the Spirit. You have an advantage on insight and charisma, or insight and intimidation checks. Okay, I can see that. Very cool. Word of the Spirit. When you speak, you can direct your words to a creature of your choice that you can see within 60 feet of you, making it so only that creature can hear you. Alternatively, you can amplify your voice so that all creatures within 600 feet can hear you. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty cool. This is mostly flavor ribbon stuff, but very cool. That is, yeah, if you want to make yourself sound really booming, or if you want to talk in, just discreet telepathy, that's cool too. Very cool. Let's see here. 11th level, you get Body of the Astral Self. When you have both your astral arms and visage summoned, you can cause the body of the astral self to appear. No action required. This spectral body confers your physical form like a suit of armor, connecting with the arms and visage. You determine its appearance. While the spectral body is present, you gain the following benefits. Deflect energy. When you take acid, cold, fire, force, lightning, or thunder damage, you can use your reaction to deflect it. When you do so, the damage you take is reduced by 1d10 plus your wisdom modifier, minimum of 1. Wow. Okay, this is cool. This is cool. This is do you have to use your reaction? It does make you use your reaction, and so 1d10 wisdom mod at 11th level is probably 3 to 5. That could be worth it. That could be worth it. And I'm leery. It depends on the. I guess that would be situational, because it would depend on the situation. If you can get attacks in as a monk, your reaction can sometimes mean more getting those attacks in rather than reducing your damage by that small amount. But we'll see. What else we got? Empowered arms. Once on each of your turns, when you hit a target with the arms of the astral self, you can deal extra damage to the target equal to your martial arts die. Okay, so that just doubles your martial arts die bonus there. Okay, that's pretty cool. And it's only once, but it's extra damage, and it scales a little bit. It scales up to a D10 at higher levels. Speaking of higher levels, let's take a look at the capstone for the astral self. Awakened astral self. Your connection to your astral self is complete, allowing you to unleash its full potential. As a bonus action, you can spend 5 key points to summon the arms, visage, and body of your astral self and awaken it for 10 minutes. This awakening ends early if you're incapacitated or die. While your astral self is awakened, you gain the following benefits. You get Armor of the Spirit, which gives you +2 to your armor class, and Astral Barrage. Whenever you use the extra attack feature to attack twice, you can instead attack 3 times if all the attacks are made with the astral arms. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So you get an additional attack and +2 AC. And I say pretty cool because it's useful. That's universally useful. It doesn't blow me away as a capstone ability, and it's not that flavorful. So, Way of the Astral Self is cool, but probably something I wouldn't play myself. It'd be more the Way of the Mercy type, if choosing. So yeah, that's all the monk features. Let me know what you think in the comments. Subscribe, all that jazz. We're gonna keep churning through these subclasses, and then we're gonna touch on some other stuff in Tasha's, and then we're gonna get ready for some more D&D content coming up after that. Closed lip so far, but yeah, stay tuned. Thanks for joining me, everyone, and remember, as always, unity is strength. So take care of each other, stay safe, and we'll see everyone again real soon.